I have some very strong opinions regarding the draft and men being sent to die for meaningless, purposeless wars. Please watch this.
This is nuts. This is nuts.
When has there ever been a vote about what a man should do with his own body?
Men have to sign up for the draft when they turn 18, and women don't. Do you know how many men were drafted into the Vietnam War and died because the government said,
I don't agree
you
with
don't
that.
agree with it, but it's the case.
But I don't agree with it.
Doesn't matter if you don't agree with it, it's the case. You said, when has there ever been a law governing a man's body? There is one right now. Men in Ukraine and Russia lost 140,000 guys. Is the government of Russia sending women to die? I don't think so. I think that's a lot worse.
You're entitled to your opinion.
It's definitely worse because the government is forcing the men, the government is taking away the woman's bodily autonomy, whereas the woman, in most cases of abortion, she voluntarily had sex.
This is nuts. Matter of fact, it's absurd with a capital A. Let me tell you why. First of all, before I give my opinions, let me talk to you about the opinions I've had of many war veterans that have expressed their grievances and concerns regarding this country. They say, this is not what I fought for when I got signed up for the draft for Vietnam in 1973. This country's going to hell. I believe in my soul that what I fought for was completely wasted considering where this country is headed towards right now. And I wouldn't want any young men to fight and potentially die for this hellhole of a country like how I almost did and how I saw many of my comrades die against their will being signed up for the draft. With that being said, let me tell you my opinions. I agree. This country is not worth fighting and dying for. I refuse to die for a country who openly states that they hate me, that they hate Jesus Christ, that they despise my skin color. Me as the evil boogeyman in the eyes of many in this country. I refuse to die for them. By the way, I'm Puerto Rican and Mexican. I'm not Eastern European. But racism is simply hatred mixed with ignorance. That said, I refuse to die for a country who hashtags kill all men. Speaking of death and murder, I refuse to die for women who endorse 1 million abortions a year, fulfilling 1 Enoch chapter 69 verse 12. I refuse to die. Imagine dying for Cacula Harris, someone who literally said, "Oh, you're in the wrong rally," when a man openly stated while she was speaking about abortion, "Jesus is Lord." I refused to die for Antichrist. I refuse to die for this country that is headed towards the last days. And frankly speaking, my place is not here on this earth. I do not belong here. I'm already fighting a war. Ephesians chapter 6 verse 12 says, "For we do not wrestle with flesh and blood enemies, but powers, principalities, and the forces of darkness." Satan is the one I'm already engaging in war against, and he already has put many targets on my front and back and on my sides. I already know in my soul it is my fate to go into prison for being a Christian. So if I get signed up for the draft, mind you, for those of you men who are 18 to 26, that draft is going to be automatically registered for you come this December. If you didn't know that, now you know the information. I'm 36. There's nothing that says they won't extend the age for men up until 50, 60, like they had to do in Russia and Ukraine. I will let you know right now, if it is my fate to go to prison because I refuse to pronounce the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, I am not going to fight and die for this prison for the sake of Antichrist, for the sake of people that don't even know what country they're living in, for the sake of individuals that don't even know what 100 minus 66 is. I refuse to die for that, but I will die for the Lord Jesus Christ. If I'm going to go to prison anyway, I am going to preach and refuse that people sign up for this draft. I'm not fighting and dying for this country. I am going to go to prison. I'm going to preach the gospel in prison. If I'm going to go to prison anyways for being a Christian because people hate Jesus Christ, therefore they hate me, then if I get signed up for the draft, I know where I'm going regardless. But it doesn't matter. Why does it not matter? Because I already won the game of life. Whether or not I get beheaded, put in prison, or whether or not I get stabbed or shot to death like Charlie Kirk, it doesn't matter because I already won the game of life. I already gave my whole heart and faith and alliance and allegiance to the Lord Jesus Christ. So even if I were to die, say this day, I already know 10 billion% where I'm going. So it doesn't matter. To the men and to the women who are listening, you have a decision to make. Time is running out. No matter what happens within the next following hours, days, weeks, months, or years, you have a decision to make. Are you going to side for the kingdom of the north, or are you going to side for Satan and the kingdom of the south? Which one? You cannot just be neutral or fence sitter. You have to make a choice. You have to. For we all have an expiration date. And honestly, Jesus Christ saved my life. I'm a sinner. And giving my life to him wholeheartedly is the best decision I ever made. As a result, he's the one I'm fighting for. Not for this wicked, broken, fallen, decaying, and dystopic country. All glory to my great king, who I will continue to fight for until my last breath when I say the words, Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. All glory to him.